the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Figma Max Factory Demon Slayer Greatness Zenitsu. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. You guys know he's my favorite character, so I'm super excited. Starting off with that sexy packaging, as you guys know, this is the deluxe version, and so it does come with the slip cover. That's mostly black with an image of Zenitsu right here using his thunder breathing technique. Something right there I can't read. It says Zenitsu Agatsuma. I think I said that right. Agatsuma, something like that. DX edition, whatever. Max Factory, Figma Demon Slayer right there. Figma, Max Factory, yada, yada, yada at the top. Barcode at the bottom. Nothing much really going on the side, except for right here. You can see the image. This is on the regular box, which I'm about to show. You do have some images of the figure on the back looking really freaking good, man. I really like this a lot, especially since they actually used like Photoshop images to make this figure look like he's actually in the Demon Slayer world. It just makes the figure look even better. A bunch of legal stuff down here that I can't read and don't really care about anyway. And then when you take the slip cover off, as you can see, we got the box. You got the window where you can actually see the figure. The colors are all kinds of yellows and golds and browns, which match the theme of the character. It says number 522DX right there. Zenitsu Agatsuma. I think I got it right that time. We've got him with the nervous look right here. We've got him where he's about to light somebody up right here for real. We've got that adorable smile that he gives whenever he sees Nezuko pointing to himself. At the bottom, we got him using the thunder breathing again. And then, of course, on the back, even more images and poses you can get the figure into. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and bust this figure open because this is one that I have been waiting on for a while. Now, first things first, before I get into the figure, I know some people are wondering about the glove. Yes, if you watched my last video, then you would know why I'm wearing it. But for those that don't know, I cut my hand at work, and I know some of you guys watch the video just to take a look at my hands for whatever reason. So I just decided to give you guys less to complain about. I will be wearing a glove probably for my next couple of reviews until the cut heals. And so there, that out of the way, let's get into the figure. Moving on to the figure itself, I gotta say, man, I think that they did a lot better with this figure than they did Tanjiro. A lot of the movements with Tanjiro didn't work the way that I wanted them to. They weren't as fluid as I wanted them to be, but this guy feels perfect. First off, and I'm going to pull him out to show you guys a comparison. You can actually lift these shoulders up to where they touch this piece right here. On Tanjiro, I don't know if it's just mine, but I could never get this piece to go up. I don't know if you guys have Tanjiro and you can do it, let me know. But I couldn't do it on either arm. As you can see, it's just like kind of like a gap right between there. I can never get this shoulder piece to touch the collar. It's not a problem doing it on this guy. And so the entire jacket looks flush. Also, I was able to get these to lay down and his arms to drop like to his sides, no problem. I couldn't do that with my Tanjiro. Like it always looks like, because I can't lift these up, his arms can never just sit flush. They kind of stick out no matter how I'm posing him. I don't have that problem with him. So that's another thing I like. And the last thing I think is probably the best decision they made is you can actually remove the sword sheath. See, here it's pegged on. You just kind of, and it's a pretty big peg, so you don't have to worry about it breaking, but you just plug it right in there and it clicks in and you don't have to worry about it doing anything. But with Tanjiro, it's actually stuck to the belt. And so you can't take it off. It just kind of slides up and down. And I mean, they never remove their sheets unless they're sitting down or something. And it is cool that it's adjustable, but just having that option to remove the sheath whenever I want it out of the way for posing or whatever reason, that just makes me happy, man. I think that they did a really, really great job with that. Now, one decision that's also different, because I know some people are probably wondering if it's the same sculpt. I think the pants are. The boots, obviously not. Let's see. The chest, I don't think is either. Because if you look at Zenitsu, there's actually like a joint in there to where you can lean him forward a tad bit more than Tanjiro. And see, Tanjiro only crunches forward that much. Versus Zenitsu, he can pretty much lean all the way in. And as we know, he does that with his thunder breathing. So it only makes sense that they added that in. I don't really like the look of it, but I feel like at some point I could probably ignore it. But anyway, off of that, onto the look of the figure. The look is just beautiful, man. It's just, this is a beautiful looking figure. All the yellows, the oranges, the whites, the blacks. This figure just looks beautiful, man. And that's not a surprise. Figma always kills it look-wise when it comes to their anime figures. And this one is just a major step up entirely from Tanjiro and Nezuko. More so Nezuko, because that one was atrocious. But this is just a major step up. I think that they did a great job with this. And if they continue to do their engineering this way and to put this amount of care into making their figures, I'm going to keep buying these. I'm going to keep buying them anyway. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and put this guy back and see how tall he stands because I've already rambled enough. Now, in terms of the height on this guy, to the top of his head, as you can see, he's between 5 and 5.5 inches. Definitely on the smaller side, as he should be, because he's 14, 15 years old. I can't remember if he's older than Tanjiro or not. But he's going to fit in scale with all of your 6-inch figures, and I will be showing size comparisons later on in the video. Moving on to the articulation, he looks up only about that much because, as you can see, the hair is going to touch the back of the shoulder, so you're not going to be able to get him to look up too much more than that unless you lean him back. He doesn't look down very much either because the chin is going to touch the chest, which is also another reason you're going to use this joint right here if you want him to look down. He still does get proper rotation and everything out of there, twist and turn, so I'm glad that they were able to include this joint without it interfering with the regular articulation that we would normally expect. The arms go up and out beautifully, so you can pose this guy just fine, and you can, of course, bring them all the way in. You just got to find the joint and where it connects to bring it in for his sword swinging poses. And you can do it. I just did it earlier. There we go. So yeah, you just got to kind of play with that joint in there because of the fact that they made it a little bit different than what we're used to when it comes to getting butterfly joints. But it is possible. Now it doesn't want to do it. I literally just did it earlier, and that's going to bug me that I can't do it on camera. But anyway, you just kind of turn him right here at the single joint. And then that's going to help you as well when it comes to getting those sword swinging poses. And I know the glove is probably a distraction, but I'm sorry, you guys. But yeah, that's what's going to help you with your sword swinging poses. It does actually rotate right here. This is a little bit more loose than I would like for it to be. I didn't have that issue with Tanjiro. As you can see, you can actually pull on that and it slides. So that's a little bit annoying. And then the arm actually comes off too. Maybe that's why. Maybe the arm wasn't pushed all the way in. And so that's what was causing it to do that. That's so weird. I don't know if Tanjiro is like that, but I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. I'm going to leave this in the video for you guys to see, but I'm going to fix that and then come back and finish the articulation. All right, so I did fix it, but I'm not sure how well I fixed it. I'll be honest, I want to throw this out there. This part is hella annoying because the arm does pop out of here and you kind of got to connect this piece back and then connect the arm into the joint in there. And I would love to show you guys on camera, but it was a pain to fix and I really don't want to take it apart again. But just be wary, this part right here, maybe not on everyone, hopefully it's just mine, can be an issue. I did have it on this one, but I was able to get this one to connect and stay sturdy. This one, I feel like the more I pose it, it's just going to come apart eventually. And so it does rotate right here, as you guys can see. I'm going to try not to turn it too much. As I can see, it's already coming apart. You do get the same movement at the wrist, and there it goes. Me showing you guys see it's coming apart. And so I'm actually going to show it. This actually comes out. You plug it inside of here, but on mine, it just doesn't want to stay, and it's so annoying. Because if I move the elbow, it just kind of comes out if I move it too much. So be wary, that could be an issue. That is a pain. I'm going to probably use the hot glue method on it, and hopefully that'll fix it. But anyway, he does turn at the waist. The jacket does blow, as you guys can see. The legs are on a drop-down method. You can rotate the sword. In terms of the legs, he can kick out about that much. then you pull him down, and he kicks out only about that much, which, I mean, it's not like they do a lot of kicking poses anyway. He kicks forward very, very well. He can kick all the way up. That's dope. He can kick all the way back. He does have a built-in thigh swivel, and then you just kind of plug these back under here, under that plastic piece. He bends at the knee, and he bends right here at the start of his boot. And so that's how you get that extra articulation. I think that design was genius, because this would have been a single joint and there was no way you'd be able to get enough articulation out of that. So the fact that they actually put a bend right here, I think that was a great idea. I got to give them props for that. And of course, as you guys know, it does swivel, so you can turn right there. Foot goes down about that much, up about that much. He does get a little bit of ankle rocker. I know it's hard to show with the glove, but yeah, he does get ankle rocker. And then he does have a toe hinge as well. So articulation-wise, if I wasn't dealing with this arm issue on mine, it would be a 10 out of 10, because they really stepped it up for what they had to work with on this design. So if it wasn't for this, it'd be a 10 out of 10. I got to give it like a 8 on mine, because this is going to get really annoying, because this is where a lot of your articulation is going to come from, out of the sword swinging poses and things like that. When it comes to accessories, I will say you definitely get a fair amount with this guy. First off, you get his normal neutral kind of nervous expression straight out of the package with a pair of fist hands. Something about the expression looks a little weird. I don't know, like it looks a little soft, maybe. I don't know. I think this is more inspired by the manga art and not the actual anime. That was something I noticed from the jump, but the next few expressions look great. You do get this smiling, pointing to himself expression, and that's what this additional hand is for. It's for when he's pointing to himself. This looks really great. I'm happy that they included that. You do get his thunder breathing, I'm on your ass face. This means somebody about to take an L, basically. When my boy closes his eyes, somebody about to take an L. And that's when I get excited. And then you do get my favorite expression, which is the Ee-ah! Expression, because Zenitsu's always afraid of something. And I love that he can go from this to this in about 2.5 seconds, and I love it, man. That's another reason I really just love the character. Now, in terms of hands, you do get quite a few, actually. You do get these two at the bottom. I don't know what they're for, because the sword holding hands are right here in the middle. You get a pair of relaxed hands and then a pair of open stylish pose hands. So I don't know what these at the bottom are for. I'm not going to complain. More is always better, but hey, I'm happy with it. He comes with his sword, which looks beautiful. And then he comes with the sheath, or hilt, not the sheath, which you plug into the sheath right here. And as you can see, it stays no problem. Only thing is you can't push it in like you can with Tanjiro. So it does kind of stick out. But, I mean, that is to be expected. It's a sword, so yeah. And then he does come with a few lightning dash effects. This is the one that has the translucent yellow as it fades to a bluish color. There's peg holes in the bottom of all of these. That's the lightning one. This is the super dash, which is trying to stick to my glove. You can actually use this for a lot, so I dig this a lot. This is really cool. I love these type of things. And then you do also get a smaller one, and so this guy can be used to dash all over the place if you wanted to. Now, normally I don't show off the stands, but he also comes with a really large stand, or a tall stand. That just fell out. And this is what you use the dash for. This is basically the stand where he does the technique, or the technique where he comes out of the sky and he kills the spider demon. And so that's pretty much what it's for. And all of the peg holes can be connected in these by these little pieces right here. You get 3 of these, and so you just kind of build it. And I'll show you guys what that looks like right now, because me trying to explain it is not working out. So if done right, you should get something that looks kind of like this, which is basically showing that he came down from the sky, landed, went this way for whatever reason, and then decided to run right through you going that way at light speed. And so I also figured out that these hands at the bottom here are actually for holding on to the sheath, which makes sense because it's removable. And so with it being removable, it makes it so much easier to slide into that left hand. And so, yeah, I made mistakes, but we figured it out together. And this is just supposed to be for like when he's reaching to grip onto it. So I didn't use these hands, of course. I just did this quick to show you guys what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, it's something I probably will never use. But more accessories is more accessories. I'll use these for something, so I'm not going to complain. Moving on to some size comparisons, here he is standing next to the other releases that we got from Figma. This is the Demon Slayer Figma Tanjiro and the Demon Slayer Figma Nezuko, who is definitely the worst out of the three, but all of these have their problems. Really, on this guy, Zenitsu, I think it's just a QC issue, but he's definitely the best of the three, and Tanjiro comes in second place. These do all look really good together, so I gotta say, Figma's coming along. I really can't wait to see what they do next with Inosuke. Next up here, he is standing next to the Buzz Mod squad. We have him standing next to the Buzz Mod Tanjiro, the Buzz Mod Inosuke, and the Buzz Mod iteration of himself. Personally, I think I still kind of like the Buzz Mod version a little bit better, but I gotta keep it real. Figma really did kill this. I'm really enjoying this figure despite the issue that I have with it. Now, in terms of sizes, some people like to mix and match. I don't think that this works because all these characters are supposed to be around the same size as you guys can see, and he would just be significantly smaller. So I don't think it works, but if you know how to take perspective shots, you can make it work. Now, mixing it up with some other lines a bit, here he is standing next to a Revoltech My Hero Academia Deku. I had to throw my boy Eren in there from Attack on Titan because Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan were just dominating Crunchyroll this year, and Attack on Titan is still killing it with Season 4. Go watch that if you haven't already, and watch Season 2 of Demon Slayer if you haven't. And lastly, I had to throw in the boy Dawson Model Yusuke for a 7-inch figure so you guys can see how that works as well. Also, I don't think that he looks too bad next to Zenitsu. I feel like that's kind of accurate. Deku should be a little bit smaller, but this is Revoltech, so it makes sense. And lastly, to mix it up a bit, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Spider-Man, the animated series Symbiote Spider-Man, the Mafex or Metacom Toys Ben Reilly, which is probably one of the best Spider-Man figures of all time, and of course a Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Moon Knight. Shout out to my boy Isaac Artiste for hooking it up with this, because if it wasn't for you, I would not have this guy. So I'll go ahead and keep it a buck, man. Despite this figure having that one major issue where the arm kept popping off, the more I mess with it, the more I realize I think that they did that on purpose because of the fact that it's probably going to cause a lot of problems for people when they try to get him in a pose like this where he's gripping onto the sheath, because it might end up popping out or it might end up breaking if you try to pose it the wrong way. So maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe it's just an issue with mine. Either way, I hope it works out for those of you who decide to get your hands on this figure, because I'll be honest, man, I love this thing. Despite that issue, I really do love this thing. It doesn't move as freely as the Buzz Mod. It doesn't feel as fluid in movement. That being said, you can still get him in almost all the same poses, and it just looks good, man. Like, this is, when I say that this is the best one that Figma has released, this really is the best one. I love the Tanjiro. Nezuko, I didn't really care for that one too much, but this is it. If they continue to do it like this, if Rengoku works like this, if Akaza, well, he's not wearing anything but some pants, but if Rengoku and Giyu and Shinobu all work like this, they're going to be good figures. If they all work like this, I'm going to enjoy this. And who knows, I might end up eventually enjoying this line as much as I do the Buzz Mod. I know some people don't care about the Buzz Mod. They say they're a little too big, a little bit too bulky. But hey, Demon Slayer has several different art styles as well as any other anime. And so it's just all about preference. The more I mess with this, the more I'm really enjoying it more than the Buzz mod. I don't know. I'll just have to kind of mess around. Let me know in the comments if you guys want a who did it better video. Normally, I always do it, but those are super time consuming. So if you guys are going to watch it, let me know in the comments. But for now, if you want to know what I think about this figure, if you're already invested in the line, if you've got Tanjiro and you got Nezuko, it's a no-brainer. Go pick up this guy. Now, if you're someone who has the Buzz mod Tanjiro, Nezuko, you didn't want the Buzz mod Zenitsu, for whatever reason, yeah, you can get this guy. He's not going to be in scale, but you can do it. So either way, I recommend this figure. I just really do. I recommend this figure, not because he's my favorite character, but because this thing just looks so cool, man. And if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, you're going to love it. Better to get it now than wait till it shoots up in price and regret not picking it up. Now, I'm pretty much harping on this situation now, so I'll be quiet. But go get this figure. Anyway, that's my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye. Go get this figure.